one of the things I would do is I would play Hearthstone almost every day. I would play 12, 14, 18 hours a
Oh,
day.
you were
Like I
really
would, I would literally
grinding
like,
it. Yeah.
every day. Like if you ever pictured like somebody was like, I want to be the best at this, that was the type of mentality that I have. I would wake up, I would eat, and I would go right back upstairs. I'd have my pen and notepad out, and I would be taking notes while I'm playing my games as to
Right.
like, oh, I could have done this better, and like reflecting every single game. This was a way of me
You were
like
your own coach
better,
of like looking at the play tape, like improving. All
literally,
right, we're gonna instead of running it this way, we're gonna run it this way. You're
dude.
slacking a
I
bit
remember
here.
like it was nuts. I remember like taking time and you would reflect the game, and
Right.
then when my day would finish, I'd finish playing, and the next morning I'd wake up and I would self-reflect what was my day of play. Like
Right.
so, you would look on a like on a more macro scale as like I played this way for this specific, and these were the people that I play, and I would literally have like this deck playing this deck and whatever the case might be. And in the course of 2 months, I went from playing what was like entry level beginner, didn't really fear to like play too well against anybody to playing what was HyperDiligent, which is like top 8,000
Yeah.
in the world for whatever, hundreds of thousands of players or whatever their player total is.
Yeah.
For that in the course of 2 months, which is like insane when you talk to most
That
people.
trajectory, and I think that's a really cool example of how people can have this passion and this dedication for video games, right? And it is, there are skills that you develop and there's skills that you hone, and like you said, you were like taking notes on what to improve. You were putting in that time and that effort to improve your skills. And I think there's still a lot of people that undersell games, like, oh, video games, right? Or like video gamers. But they're, if you talk to competitive athletes or people who want to get better at a certain type of game, there is that same mentality that a football player have, or a soccer player, where this is you're in your element and you want to become even better. You want to push yourself. You want to be the best that you can be, and then you want to push yourself even further to be the best of the best. And that's that same mentality that traditional athletes have, that I've seen in people who play games. They have that same level of that passion and that dedication to improve at a skill, right? And I think that's something that's really cool, and that you've personally experienced, which is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like hindsight now that it's been years that have passed. Like I really look on it as to it's like a validation point. I wish this was taught to me when I was younger. Is I think the most important thing that like anybody can learn is the ability to realize that they can improve themselves in any aspect of life that they can with putting enough effort in. Like you
Right.
can do anything, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, like whatever part of life that you're doing it, or even if it's something as simple
Humans
as
are,
you're
are
working.
crazy in that. It's awesome.
It's crazy. Like to think if you're 17 years old and you're just like pushing your way through high school because you fucking hate it and you're working some 9 to 5, but you're like you like your 9 to 5. You're like, or excuse me, I should say you're probably working overnight, whatever it
Right.
is, and you're like I really like this, and you're like improving on it, and nobody appreciates it the same scale. Like that, if that's important to you, you can reflect on it. You can be better. Like you can do that. Like that. That's okay.
It's
And I
cool
think that was
that,
my
yeah,
thing.
humans do have that mentality, or do have the ability to set their mind to something, setting their will to improve at something, to learn something, and then doing it. I have a friend who's coming on the podcast on Saturday. He's a fascinating guy. Worked in a nuclear submarine. He's a computer programmer
Insane.
now. He's traveled the world. He's got some crazy stories. But one of the coolest things, and one of our a discussion that we had was, I believe that people are born with certain natural talents, and maybe more than nurture. And he's very the opposite. He says that everybody's born pretty much a blank slate, and how they're raised or what they set their mind to.
Interesting.
So there's a whole argument about the whole raising up. But his argument was, I said that certain people are born with artistic skill, and he said I disagree with that. He said that anyone can learn how to draw. You don't have to be born able to draw. Some people are born able to draw. Some people aren't. He said I've been drawing like every day for as much as I can for 10 years to get to where I am. He said that anyone can do it, right? If you set your mind to something, it might be hard for you, but if you are determined enough, you can succeed at it. And I think that that's something that's maybe not played up enough in humans, and that's something that is crazy and sets us really, makes us something that's really truly special, is that we do have that ability to set our mind and our spirit and our will. And if people en masse do that, it's crazy to see like the results of that. But I don't know. I think it's interesting.
I 100% agree. I literally think that, and I think that that's why I have my natural like favoritism towards humanity. Like a lot of people think like this is the end of whatever it is. I don't.
Right.
I absolutely wholeheartedly disagree. I think that regardless of it, if it's a current negative outcome, that long term we still will
The
progress.
net gain will be positive. Right?
Yeah, the net gain, like it'll be positive. Like
It's a
we
roller
will
coaster,
get better.
but it's going up.
Yeah, eventually. Like that's literally how I feel. That's absolutely how I feel.
Awesome. Okay, so we like to round out the very end of the podcast with what we call the power segment. And I'm going to read you a list of about 12 to 15 comparisons, essentially, A or B. And I want you to just be utterly focused. I want you to not think about anything else. And whatever first comes to your mind, even if you're like, oh, that surprises me, or I shouldn't have said that, I should have answered the other thing. I just want you to say whatever comes to your mind first, as honest as you can. Ready? All right.
Got you.
Butt or boobs?
Boobs.
Trump or Biden?
Biden.
Running or biking?
Running.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Cooking or baking?
Cooking.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Snow or beach?
Beach.
Laundry or dishes?
Dishes.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Pancake or waffle?
Waffle.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
The Office or Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
And Bitcoin or the US dollar?
Bitcoin.
All
Easy.
right. Okay, dude. Nice. Well,
I'm gonna be honest. Straight up, that first question kind of threw me for a curveball. I'm definitely an ass guy, but I definitely responded boo first.
We learned something about you. You're
I'm
lying
telling
to
you.
yourself. You're lying to yourself.
The thing is, I might be. Maybe my subconscious does realize, like, when I look at somebody, it's like facial recognition, then boobs, and like maybe that's where my mind was. Like at the point,
know.
like
I think that you're fighting it. That you're claiming to be a butt guy, but really you're a boobs guy, and you should embrace that about you. It's what makes you unique.
Dude, I might be. Yeah, the thing is, I'm open-minded. Maybe I am. I don't know.
I'll
have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for coming on the podcast tonight, dude. I appreciate it. We had a lot of good convos. If you guys want to follow him at The Real X31 on Twitter.
On Twitter. That's where I live, honestly.
Do you want to plug any other social medias? Any books that you're writing? Any movies that are coming out?
Currently, no. I'll be doing other stuff. When we do podcasts further down the line, I'll have more interesting stuff to be. But right now on Twitter, The Real X31, we'll keep it for that.
All right, go follow him. Give him a like. Thanks again for coming on the show. Much love. Much appreciated. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely, man. No doubt.
Have a good one. See ya.
Thank you, bro.